Hi. So, I'm here at my work early. I was going to plan on doing my 2 to 3 hour credit card counseling homework, but I'm going to do it tonight. I just wanted to let you know that I actually had to take off my necklace because it was starting to choke on me. Um, it's going to become one of those things like it's a surgical mask. Like, at some point, if it's not working, it's going to go. I actually broke my face mask that I bought at Forever 21. And the same conversation that I have with my two favorite baristas over in Lincoln Park, um, the same thing happened again. So whenever the line decides to stop here at Forever 21, face mask will not. I mean, it's one of my favorite ones. It's the ones with the flower. This elastic broke. And my cat hasn't been chewing. I keep all my stuff in the house. And EM ended up becoming Toto again. Poor cat. My mom seriously wants this cat to become like Lucky, but she's not realizing that EM is a Babe Ruth. He's my Babe Ruth kitty. So he's going through his Wheaties box right now. Stage. Because remember, he's got to disappear. And um, one of the great things that happened last night was I got the Wizard of Oz dream. And it is so crystal clear. But I don't like how, like, down the middle, it's got, like, empty pus holes. It's the grossest thing ever. You want to talk about having a phobia. So that means that right now, it's pretty much if anybody goes to a restaurant or does anything, they have to be careful with what they grab, because if it's not there when we walk into December 19th, 2015, you could actually be hurting in another way. So I went through, Boston Market is actually closed in our state. And it happens to be one of my favorite because it's tied to my grandfather, because I used to take him out and stuff. So that whole mess that me and my sister have to do is because my grandmother's a great notorious liar. That's the one with the Q-tip. Yeah. So, anyways, I went through it because my favorite is 3-piece dark with mashed potatoes and gravy, and I have actually changed it up on the second side, but it's always mashed potatoes with gravy. So it's either sweet corn or cream spinach. I even done sweet potatoes. Those are so good. Stuffing and stuff. So sometimes I'll do a half a chicken, just depending on how hungry I am. But I ended up putting on my New Balance shoes for a little bit because last night was really weird and interesting at work. So I have my pink ones here today. And I'm going to go walk in and go grab me a face mask to tie me through all this. But yes, on one side of the dream, we do have the window. I have the Dorothy sticks her head out window ending. And this one's a lot clearer. See, last time I know I didn't pick you. What I said was I just want to see, like, whoever had, like, the great grammar, great writing skills, great storytelling skills could write the best Dianetics and let me listen through it and see which one would show up, and I would go through with that one. This one actually had the phobia in it, which is a true phobia, because it's a disgusting thing to see when you see like empty pus holes down, and then you see like a split segment. So it's basically outside the window. I'm telling these like African American families not to do certain things with the clothes and stuff, and then it ends up being like a little horror ending. Like, the little child turns into a plastic doll, and they're like shaking and it's dressed in pink, and it's like, oh my god. And then here I am back in bed again. So it's like, okay, fantastic. So it is a Dorothy ending. So yes, we are flipping through. So once again, you politicians don't understand this because y'all decided to get rid of this part of the letter. And you shouldn't, because Miscavige did spend a lot of money to put this letter out to let us know that we were still in the Wizard of Oz ending and all that stuff. So yes, that's it. But getting to the heart of the problem. So tonight and into tomorrow morning, all the papers are going to get finalized and sent out. I am going through the first round of credit cards. And yes, it is true. 2 credit cards should not be open. Okay. The problem is how I guess I get what you're saying is to go out and go spend more at the grocery store. The problem is that I don't have the ex half wanting to partake in what he cooks and eats. I have to eat it. Okay? And I'm not into that at all. I'm not into that at all. I want it to be where meals are spaced out. He can't do that. He's not like John McCain, where like the man can eat and then he can say I'm done. Like I can't get my ex-husband to do that. So I get what you're saying. So yes, the first half, because the goal is, and Miscavige knows the goal, that it's to pay down the first education degree. Okay, the master's degree. The master's degree only costs as much as my car did. So to pay off my car, which I agree also with you, I should go out further and not stick to this one dealership, because I have a funny feeling too it's also tied to that. Problem is I don't find this dealership until like the 3rd year in Massachusetts. So yes, I need to figure out a way to push further. So that means like during the first 2 days of unpacking, I need to do more. And I agree with you. Okay, so it's not like I don't agree, not like I'm not trying. It's just trying to figure out how much more I can push, because I'm physically exhausted. Physically exhausted, and then on top of it, I've got a mom that acts crazy stupid when she gets giddy. Okay, so it's not like I have a typical normal family that says, okay, don't make stupid mistakes, we got money set aside. No, I have a mom that acts crazy, stupid, giddy, and I have a dad that says, leave me out of it. So it's like, okay, whatever. So I know the 2 credit cards, so that money can be put towards the other half of it. And I get that. Problem becomes is, what do I do if my purse ends up being tapped into again? Because the first month and a half, it's pretty much what money do you have in your account that I take and have to put towards everything. Because it pretty much came down to the washing machine. I think it was the washing machine is down, or I'm sorry, the dryer. Did I say the wash? We'll find out. It's one of the two. I'm pretty sure it's the washing machine. I'm pretty sure, because the washing machine is an expensive piece of equipment to replace as far as parts go. And I did say something about the dryer. If the dryer went, I said it, that's it. We're not supposed to be in the house. So the washing machine for sure goes. Come February, we have the transgender affair. January, we're trying to avoid the first employment. We're kind of debating about March becoming April. I'm still hearing the dizziness though. I'm still hearing the dizziness. Because it's a straight tornado dizziness. Like as if it's almost like what it is, it's like to the point where it's got my bean on a string and it's just going like this. That's pretty much what it is. It is a Wiccan thing. It is a Wiccan thing. It's not a pendulum. It's not any of that. That we need to get rid of, because that's exactly what happens from December 19th into February. Somebody's on a phone call with somebody, really going crazy with the reading, because that's exactly what that means. You've taken the person out of whatever and put them in like some weird, sick, twisted story. So I know that's a female not understanding what this is all about, saying that I need to be on this is not medication. We've been through this way too many times to say it's on medication, way too many times, and it could actually be part of that Ponzi scheme. But it's almost like, I almost want to say it may be one of the affairs, because the way it hits into the house, it's a crazy. I still have to figure that out. I can't get a dream out of it though to figure it out. The only thing I can think of is that it's probably all the things that my ex-husband has been doing without me witnessing it. So it may be just a witness dream, and that's a hard dream for me to grab hold of in a Freud sense. So that may be part of it. I don't know. But yes, the CP calls do start brewing up, and I do know it starts off with the Mandevilles. April, I forgot to tell you, April comes along and I get a phone call from Warren, Elizabeth Warren. It's on behalf of her. And it's a nasty student loan repayment phone call. Okay, it's a nasty one. I end up getting into a fight with them. It's almost like what they did was that they were going to tack on a year and a half worth of back payment fees. And it ends up becoming a big battle because it's like, excuse me, I don't know who you are, and yet you're still doing all this. I don't know what that's all about. I don't know what's that all about. You might want to find out now, because if you find out what it is, if it's them trying to get money back to fill up their unemployment, based on the AP Government and Law book, unemployment is there for that reason. Okay? There's a whole paragraph on how strict unemployment receiving unemployment is. It's a weird fucking lingo. But I sat there and I read through it. Basically, during a pandemic, you're entitled to get it. As long as you can prove the pandemic is possible to be in every place, then yes, you can get it. Like right now. But we're going through it so many times, this is also considered another part of receiving unemployment. Towards the end of it. Not in the beginning. There are a lot of people that are thinking about letting people have it if they can recollect it. But that's not a good idea. That's not a good idea. Because we don't know what the outcome is. Because the first 3 years, we could have 50 million people doing the right thing, like they've come out of it, and then end up having it change the course of something. So that's why I said it's not in the best case to start doing it right now. So let's go through December 19th for the next 2 weeks. Oh, I know what it was. She came through clear as day. Miriam was able to pop that bubble. There was a psychic phone call. That I made in January because I could not breathe at all when I was walking into the place, and I was putting on weight even when I wasn't eating. So it was almost, it was. So that's what it was. And no, I'm not going to make this phone call because we're going to try to avoid this fucking job as much as possible. And what it was is that she had she had somehow removed, she did something or whatnot, and it that's what it was, because I was like going through some sort of crazy fucking shit, and it was just like, I don't know what you women do. You women have to understand one thing. We have no religion anymore. There is no religion. You want to try to do the 30 pills, you go right ahead, but we have no more religion. All we have is just quiet space. Not yoga. We have no more yoga. If you're doing yoga, it's because you want to keep yourself limber. That's it. Okay, but there's no more religion. There's no more, I want to find myself. No, we are in ourselves. There is no more religion. All right, there is no more religion. What I'm trying to do is trying to establish a religion where everybody can follow along and not say, well, I'm going to be selfish. I'm going to focus on me. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go back to my ways. No. Because that's why we're in this 6 years. Coming through. That's why we're in this mess. And you politicians are saying, well, I know, excuse me, you're saying the same shit. You should be able to pick up something new along the way, not pick up something same along the way. This is going to become like the worst fucking, like it is. You guys are, I don't know what it is. It's like you guys are all toddlers sticking to the same pacifier. Let it go. It is. It's like, what the fuck? Holy crap. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. I do something new every day. It's called sleeping. Like, you can't have the same dreams over and over. I says the Dorothy dream is one thing. It is. It's one thing. It's that's an extra shot. That's what single means. Yeah. And then unfortunately, I have the ability to not buy into the tea. Okay? I have the ability not buy into the tea. What it is that somebody comes up to my ex-husband. Tom, seriously, help. Because Penelope comes in from time to time to help with it, but you're not letting her. I mean, oh my God. You don't know how much I go to her sometimes. Like, I let her, before I used to let her, control things. Now it's like, no, go do what you gotta do. Because she's got some issue too. Because that's exactly how, I end up with an extra person. It's like, I don't know how you want me to deal with it. I don't know how you want me to deal with it. But yes, you do need a how does it go? You do need a monitor woman. That's how I interpret it. That's what came across my Buddha ears. It's like, I need a chaperone. I need a chaperone. Oh, great. So that must mean I'm entering something I don't know. But yeah, yeah. So we got going back to it because I have to get through these 6 months. The problem I've got is Sabrina. Not my sister, it's a girl that I have to work with at KFC. She's constantly calling California Psych as she runs out of money because her aunt I think it's her aunt. I think it's her aunt or her older sister. One of the two. She is Mexican. She does have a whole series of problems that go on. Okay. Then there's 2 other girls that are looking for also jobs as well. Shannon and Sammy. Okay. Then we have Craig. Craig's he's a hot-headed person. Next to Jordan. Jordan's super passive aggressive. He's super passive aggressive. I know because I dated when I was at Tim Hortons. I dated this personality. So, I know his mannerisms. They mimic this one night stand that turned into just heat. It just was hot sex. That's all it was. So I know this type of personality. It's not the greatest. It's actually sickening. So we have the whole, I know, I'm calling out everybody because I don't understand why. There's guaranteed sales at the register, all right? And everybody has a language on their fucking resume. I have French, I know it well. Okay? I don't want to speak Spanish because I remember what happened when I did speak Spanish. So we're not going through that again, all right? I know my French well. Yes, there are people that do speak French that do come and grab food. What it is that they are on a stricter budget because of the country they come from. Okay. I'm still saying no to the other part. Right, to the book. If I go to that book, I seriously have to stick with the what comes as far as I can't. I can't skip that first student because I just remember how the email reads too. So the answer is no to that one. So that means that's another credit card that doesn't get open. So I'm going to end up hearing this from my ex-husband. We need money and you need to find a salary paying job. Okay, well, we're not aware of what's going on through these 6 years, are we? Okay. Right, because the affair pretty much took all that air and money away from me. So that pretty much means that right back here, if I can avoid it. December is 2 weeks of unpacking straight through. Nobody's calling CP. I know I'm not, and I'm trying really hard to get over whatever the stupid shit, I think was Clemson. The stupid shit Clemson and Franken did with that office shit I went through. So I'm avoiding all that. But it still comes through, that whole dizziness, not to write, not to do anything for 6 months solid because of all the CP calling. People are calling CP for no reason. Just none. And I don't have a clue why. Because it isn't going to change. It just means that they're going to pay off a bill that they couldn't pay off. Or that, no, they couldn't pay off at the time, but they could wait to pay it later. Something like that. First 2 weeks, the psychic takes it away. There's one psychic that tries to do something and she ends up taking the focus away and then brings on the negativity, because that's exactly how I remembered it going through. Because what I had done was switch over. That's exactly the drink I switched over to, now that I think about it. Because what it was is that I started out drinking black iced coffee, and it was hurting my stomach, and I was getting sick on it. Then I switched back over to my old drink, which was strawberry side refresher. And then coming into January, I was noticing I was packing on weight even when I wasn't eating. And that's not what happens usually, because right now I'm doing the same thing. Like, I don't eat, the weight comes off. Like, it burns off the energy. Here I'm holding it. So there is a phone call being made to one particular Wiccan, because that's a Wiccan thing. That's a Wiccan thing. So they must have some sort of weird exotic pets then. They're not supposed to have, because like in Thailand cuisine, everything's considered seafood if it's not a cow, a chicken, or tofu. Frogs are considered seafood, sea urchins, all that stuff. All that stuff. Even snakes. So there must be something they've done. And I'm not getting involved because it only lasts for 3 months. It only lasts for 3 months. But it's not something I like to go through, is dizziness. No, because remember, I'm still a vampire. My aura is super sensitive to all that stuff. And it should, because that's exactly how we're supposed to look. We're actually supposed to look angelic. Light, flowy hair, always in place, no matter how bad the air is. And then a certain kind of eye. There's a certain characteristics we have in eyes. Yep. Yep. So, what else? There's that. I don't know, like Christmas. Then there's Christmas. And then there's Christmas. This is too much. This is a Ponzi scheme. It is, because I know the 2 programmers that are supposed to work on this website, and this bitch seriously carries it through towards the end. And she shouldn't be doing that. She needs to be, she needs to have them in the beginning. Yeah, that's why it's so drawn out. It is. It's drawn out. And then, of course, my ex-husband. Oh, that's what I wanted to tell you, because I'm sitting here trying to recall what happens, because the first, do you know how dizzy and sick I am when I had to enter in like mid-January? Super freak, because I know this is the transgender calling. Because there's something this transgender wants to have and do. Oh my God. Okay. So, focusing and meditating harder and harder each time on this one. Mid-January comes, I'm in the car, and here's where it becomes really freaking weird and awkward. My ex-husband is given instructions on how to enter the business building. Okay? I know who this guy is that stands in the middle of the damn freaking building. Okay, where the entrance is at. The problem is I can't call this man out, because if I do, it sets my ex-husband off. It's almost like he wants to beat me to silence. That's the type of anger that's coming on this guy. My ex-husband. So he goes through and ends up sleeping with somebody. My ex-husband ends up sleeping with somebody because he's stuck in the bathroom with two people, with another person. Actually, it's two people. It's a teenager. Mm-hmm. Then they'll switch it with Kathy and start saying that it was Kathy he was with. So Rob had to handle this last time, because I couldn't find myself to be comfortable to talk to you about this, because I can't sit and tell Miscavige this, because Miscavige is too busy, and then plus when he gets to me, it's almost got to be like a phone call, but I don't accept phone calls anymore. I don't, because I hear them coming. That's why I hear the phone calls coming. It's pretty cool. You hear my conversation? Yes, I hear a conversation coming. No, we're not going to talk about it. We're not going to talk about it. That's how good it's pretty good. So I have the best IT technology right now, because y'all can't pass the Dixie Cup test. You can't pass it up. Can't pass it at all. You pass it up, you pass it down, and you can't do it right. So that's the issue we got. Because I have three credit cards. I start off with Citi card, almost maxed out. Not Barclay. I have a Citi Forward. No, it wasn't BP. I think it was the Amex card. I had an Amex card. Could be wrong. And then I had my store cards. I have to remember. I give up. I give up on it. Even though I have the thing, I give up on it. But those are the credit cards I start off with. And I'm able to pay them off. I'm able to pay them off come winter 2016. Because all I'm responsible for is water. Trust me, I've got my birthday list going. Water, and then I also contribute to the gas, because I have the gas on a budget. So I have water and gas. I'm still trying to fight for car insurance. And I am still fighting for health insurance, because I know Obamacare. And that is pretty much the fight that goes through the rest of the years. But yes, December, I'm forced to go spend money in certain places that don't make sense. So, in a way, I think he's with somebody. Yeah, because none of it makes sense. That's why I know it's Cheryl Lagata. I know it's the transgender. And then I also know the accountant, because of how he conducts himself. Because when I tell him I don't want an LLC, we're forced to do TurboTax, and that becomes an ordeal. He gets super aggravated and agitated. So what am I supposed to do? I mean, the first year my face is going to get busted. I mean, like, do I take the beating and then, like, endure being arrested and then put to jail for something I didn't do? I mean, all I'm doing is just correcting things. That's what we're supposed to do. In the state of Massachusetts is not, it's not sensitive to women either. So I am going through what you're telling me, like where the spending's at. Like, I appreciate that, because sometimes I'll look at numbers and I'll be like, well, maybe that's not where the money's at. Maybe if I had put it towards that, some bad would have came out of it. But I don't have a mouse tank where I can grab a mouse that's like me, that stays alive long enough to go through all these hoops, because mice are really sensitive. They don't last very long if they're constantly being, like, tested all the time and not getting love at the same time. So, like, that whole tank would all be full of jewelry, and that's what they would be crawling all over, is just jewelry, necklaces, all the necklaces I can't wear, for a long. I'd like to have one necklace to last 4 years. 1 year, I'm asking, and it barely comes through. And it's like my name is on the tag. That's it. But yes, no, Kyrgyzstan is going to be the name, because I'm sick. It doesn't matter. I've said it. It's SSN, Social Security Number. I cannot emphasize this enough, because I have not gotten back my fucking passport, all right? Which means that some Democrat has it, which is fine. You can keep it. As long as I have a driver's license, and that's it. It's really it. Because I can always say I can't get the second shot because we ran out of freaking meds. That's why. So. But yes, I do appreciate you helping. You don't have to do it, but it is appreciative. And yes, I will make that payment. I always do. I never forget. And maybe a little more. Oh, yeah, the tattoo. I know which tattoo artist to go to. He's my favorite. He's the one that did this one. Try to see if he will do it, because what ends up happening is the tattoo artists somehow find me at this one office, Max Office Depot, and I'm giving a lecture about I have to spread out the money, and I'm like, I really just want to go to this one guy. I really like how he does his tattoos, and he has a son, and he's got Himalayan Tibetan flags. So it's, when I walk out of there, I feel better. That's what it is. It's a knowing I feel better type thing. And I love how the first day of working with him goes. Like, he says it. Toilets. He said, like, what do you mean, like, there's maintenance and stuff? It's just funny. He's like, I need a plumber and all this stuff. It is hilarious how the first day goes. You don't